inspiring ideas that propel the business community forward. And now, Connect with KB.
Hi, everybody. This is Kristin Beltzer. This is another episode of Connect with KB. My guest today is the former Mayor of Lansing, who's now serving as the Executive Director for the Capital Area Manufacturing Council, and he recently took on a new role as grandfather. I want to welcome to the podcast my very good friend, Virg Bernero. Thanks for joining me, Virg. It's so great to have you here in Studio B.
Well, great to be here. Great to see you, KB. It's been a little bit.
It has been a little bit. It's so good to see you, and I know that you have been busy, and life changes, and we have things that, start to kind of evolve through life, and obviously 2020 has been a big disruptor for all of us. But I'd like for you to talk about the Virg Bernero story. Let's kind of give the backstory on Virg Bernero.
Oh boy, that sounds like I hate to sound like Trump, a boring book. But no, it's been a tumultuous year, as you said, for everybody, and I think maybe that might be I've got my greatest title ever in Grandpa. I thought Dad was the greatest title, but and Dad was pretty darn good. But Grandpa, at first I thought it would age me, and when a few people found out that we were going to be grandparents, a few people started calling me Grandpa, and it felt weird. But now it feels wonderful. So yeah, we have Logan Kelly, Novus, added to the family, Virginia's baby, and it came. Of course, any time would be great, but we lost my father, Julio, at 95 in July. The patriarch of the family, who'd come from Italy after the war. It was really America's story, the story of the American dream, my dad's story. Came here with literally little more than the clothes on his back, and raised a family of 5 with my mother, who passed about 10 years ago. But so that was a difficult thing, of course. On the one hand, you're delighted that you're amazed that you had somebody for so long. On the other hand, that it's never easy to say goodbye, the finality of it. But having the baby, seeing the next generation, seeing the cycle of life, really did help. And I got to be with my dad in his last days and last years. When I stepped away in 2017 from being mayor, I said I wanted to spend more time with my family, and in this case, it was true. And I really needed to make some investments at home, and praise God, I was able to do it, and really just in the nick of time. For my father especially. We just lost on my wife's side, my wife of 33 years, Terry, just lost her mother, her grandmother, the matriarch of her family. So it has been a tumultuous time. At the same time, we're about to be grandparents again. Kelly is going to grace us with a little boy, so we'll have some balance. So it has been tumultuous again for the community. In 2020, it's been a time of change in the Bernero family. I really got to take stock in what was most important and really make those investments. And I don't regret it a bit, stepping back, because I needed to do it. I needed to make those investments in family, and seeing just the richness of it. You never, as they say, when you look back, rarely is somebody going to say, boy, I really wish I'd have spent more time at the office.
Right.
What they say is I should have spent more time with my family. And I did miss some crucial times with my kids, with my family, that I was, even at this age, able to invest, and I don't regret it. I do miss public service.
Well, I will tell you that, you and I have been friends a long time, and I so admire the commitment that you made to your father after you lost your mom 10 years ago, and for you and Terry to be so good to him and to take him in. And he lived an incredible life, and you're an incredible son. And so a big pat on the back to you. And I know that you've spent a lot of time and commitment with him over the last 3 years since you left office. What else have you been doing in regards to keeping Virg Bernero busy?
Well, doing some consulting, which has been wonderful. Randy and I went into business, Bernero Hannon, my former chief of staff. So we did consulting, and we're doing our greatest most fulfilling role is serving as executive director and operations director for the Capital Area Manufacturing Council. And by the way, I got to put in a plug for Manufacturing Day and Week, which is coming up. October 1st is Manufacturing Day. I don't have to tell you about our great manufacturing community that we have here in the Capital Region.
No, you don't, because I know.
You interview many of them, I'm sure,
do.
and you know them.
Especially Jeff Metz out at Dowding. Yep, you bet.
We are so blessed with the diversity, the richness, the depth, the variety, from biotech to traditional manufacturing, med tech, aerospace, automobiles. And so that diversity is our strength, like anything else, like a canopy of trees. You don't want to be all in one. And some people think of Lansing, obviously we're very proud of our automotive prowess and automotive heritage, but we have so much more. And so we are about promoting that. Manufacturing Day and Manufacturing Week is probably our most important event. We're going all virtual this year because of the challenges, the COVID challenges. We've been rolling with the punches in terms of COVID. Like any other business and association, you need to figure out how you can continue to get work done in a safe way and so on. So we just made the decision months ago that we were going to have to go all virtual in terms of Manufacturing Day. And Manufacturing Day, as you know, is a time when typically we give students a hands-on view of what goes on in these manufacturing facilities. For a variety of reasons, it's just not going to work to have them there. But we're trying to turn lemons into lemonade and do these virtual tours. And our manufacturers, of course, are cooperating with us. We're looking forward to a great, great day and week. We've extended it to a 4-day, which was something we wanted to do anyway. But now virtually, it's in a sense, it's easier to do. So it's going to be interesting. This will be all virtual. I think future manufacturing days and weeks will probably be a hybrid of both because, we're getting to test out new technology. And it is a way to expand and to show more kids more places and more career options. And as you know, there's just, again, Neogen, Niowave, Emergent Biosolutions, everything from high tech to again, traditional manufacturing is available, welding, great careers to be had. And good incomes to be had and benefits and so on. This is not your father's Oldsmobile.
Well, and I would think that, as we watch students having to connect virtually, that this is good for educators as well as school districts, that they have this option to connect in and kind of keep some continuity to showing the kids the careers that they're available out there for them.
Absolutely. Again, during this period of change when students, some are in schools, most are not, virtual learning, yes, the show must go on, and manufacturing has gone on, and our manufacturers have rolled with the punches, implemented safety precautions and so on. Some of them are involved, as you know, in the production of PPE, masks and whatnot, and cleaning solution, and of course even in ventilators in the case of General Motors. So, well,
I will say this about manufacturers, and you know this, they can, as everybody continues to say, use the word pivot, but they can pivot faster than anybody. And they know that they, for their livelihoods, that they have to be able to make some changes and be able to adapt to whatever the circumstances are at the moment.
Yep. So that is a great group to work with, and we've really enjoyed that. And then lately I've been fielding calls from folks asking me to think about getting back into politics, into public service. I do miss it. I've been doing a lot of soul searching about that, about where I can best make a difference. The bottom line is, age is less and less of a factor today. And I want to go where I can make a difference. You know that about me. We go back to the Farnham building.
You bet.
When you were working for a certain senator and I was working for a certain senator, we were supposed to be enemies because we were on the different parties. But
we
somehow,
never let that happen, did we?
No, we were friends. So, that's what it's about, being where you can to make the biggest difference in your community. I'm making a difference in my family's life. That means a great deal to me, obviously. That's the most important. But I also think that I have something to offer still to the community, and I'm trying to figure out where I can best do that.
Well, you do. And, I know you well. I know that people didn't always agree with you and your leadership in the city of Lansing and probably in the State House and Senate as well. But, the thing about you, Virgil, is you are not hesitant to make a decision. And I think that is an attribute of great leadership, that you have to do what's best for the people and continuing to move forward. And how do you see right now the city of Lansing continuing to move forward, I guess maybe still kind of during COVID, but also post-COVID?
Yeah, well, both is very important. We led through the Great Recession. I was mayor for 12 years, 2 years longer than Mayor Hollister. But nothing I could do would ever eclipse what Hollister did. We built on the foundation. When we say stand on the shoulders of giants, I believe I did that. What Dave Hollister was able to do here was absolutely amazing. We used the motto, believe in Lansing. He used the motto, what was it? World-class city.
Yeah.
David Hollister came to Lansing when there was much less than what you see now. And he said, we're going to be a world-class city. And some people laughed. I remember I was on the county commission. I was just a new wet behind the ears kid on the Ingham County Commission. And Hollister dared to dream big dreams. World-class city. People chortled over that. But look what he did. He moved mountains. And he got GM to reinvest here. He built the stadium. People said it could not be done. Physically, literally, people said it would not fit in the location. He said it will fit.
Well, he and Jack Davis and Ray Tadgerson in that group, I mean, it just goes to show you that people can, for the good of a community, come together to make a huge difference. And that was a game changer for Lansing.
But the leaders, so yes, it's a team, but you got to have a leader. And so I never was shy about invoking Hollister's name and building. And as you know, I urged the council, and they agreed to name City Hall after Dave Hollister because of the indelible mark that he made. And we built on that foundation. You know, we really said we've got to build on that. We've got to continue to grow Lansing, that we can be one of the great Midwestern capital cities. I still believe that about Lansing. I think that there's a lot of work to be done. And again, I'm fielding calls from business leaders, community leaders from across the spectrum, Democrat, Republican, Independent. As you know, it's a nonpartisan office. I never approached the mayor's job as a Democrat, as a partisan matter. It is about public safety first, and then economic development. Public safety and economic development, and everything that goes with that. You know, we were able to stop the population slide. When I became mayor, Lansing was losing population. When I became mayor, you know, look at where the GDP was. You know, look at what the unemployment was. Look at what the crime was, and you know, things had lulled to a stop since Hollister had left, and we were able to get that going again. So you know, people ask where I am. I'm probably 60-40 toward leaning toward running. I want to see the city be what it can be, and if I believe I can make a difference, if there's, you know, if I am needed, I will be there.
Well, I tell you what, you know, a lot of times, and you know, people talk about leaving a career or a position and not looking back. And it's interesting that you are still driven by this.
Well, I live in the city, Kristin. I live in the city, and I love the city, and I love the people. And it's no exaggeration. I mean, basically everywhere I go, whether I'm walking in the park or shopping at Meijer, even with the mask, I'm not incognito, and people do stop me. And in fact, even on the road, if I'm walking through the neighborhood. So maybe it's anecdotal, but again, I live in the city. I'm watching carefully what is going on at City Hall. And, you know, my wife reminds me regularly that I'm not mayor when I want to run down there. But I said, really, it's almost come to the point where, you know, I need to move or run because there are things that need to be done that sadly are not getting done. And it's just very difficult for me to look the other way.
Well, you know, you have always been fighting for something. And, you know, you got labeled as the angry mayor. And do you think that, you know, have you mellowed out, would you say? Because I know you. I know the guy who's got such a big heart, who calls me, who checks in, asks about my parents, how's everything going? And I think sometimes people don't see the real you.
Yeah, that reminds me of the time that years ago, my daughter, Virginia, found these cats. She was out walking her dog and found these cats in a window well. She heard this crying. It was winter, and she brought back these two little black cats. One died, and the other we kept alive. And I have allergies and all this, and so I called the animal control and said, you know, I have this kitten, blah, blah, blah. And they came to get the kitten, the county, and the person was at the door. We'd taken care of it for a couple of days with an eyedropper or whatever, giving her milk, and it would crawl up my neck. And the animal control officer was literally at my door on Cambridge. And I said, now, you know, it's a really adorable kitten. You know, she has this issue and that issue, and, you know, she'll get adopted, right? And the officer didn't say anything. And I said, well, she's a beautiful kitten. Surely she'll get adopted. And she said, well, sir, to be honest, these cats, we get so many of them, she said, in all likelihood, it will be euthanized. And I said, I looked at the kitten, I said, you, and I grabbed, I forget if I'd given it to her, but I basically slammed the door in her face and said, you're not having the kitten. And I took the kitten to work. And I remembered a wonderful gal at the clerk's office came in, and I was feeding this cat, and, you know, I had marks on my suit and everything. And she was a real cat lady, cat person. And she said, I'm seeing a side of you, Mayor, that, so have I mellowed? Don't we all? But I have not mellowed in terms of my passion for the city. And again, you know, hindsight is 20/20. The wisdom, like you say, I made decisions. They certainly, I might make different decisions today, in some of those cases, but decisions must be made. And, they're made with a team. You assemble the best team you can. I'm proud of the work that we did. The successes, were certainly not all mine. The failures I'll own. But the successes were that of the team. And I think with the right team, Lansing can be catapulted forward. We can be a great Midwestern capital city.
I have no doubt that you are going to continue to move forward. I don't know what it looks like in the next year and a half, but I have great faith in you that you are going to continue to be so committed to Lansing. You're not going anywhere, are you?
I love this city, and I love the people of Lansing. We have a lot to be proud of, and the sky's the limit for the city of Lansing.
Absolutely. Virg Bernero, my good friend, thanks so much for being here.
Great to see you, dear.
I'm
Take care.
so glad you came to join me. My guest today, Virg Bernero, Executive Director of the Capital Area Manufacturing Council. I also want to thank my supporting sponsors, Marketing Resource Group, White Law, Dowding Industries, Governmental Consultant Services, AF Group, AT&T, and the Loomis Law Firm. You can listen to all my podcasts at connectwithkb.com. Until we connect again, go live your best life. I'm your host, Kristin Beltzer.